Hey guys, this is host Adi and welcome to Comic Space, and today we have a major update breaking up for the upcoming Madam Web film. And Madam Web film has been a topic for the chatter for a long time now, and today we are going to talk about the post-credit scene of the film. And for the longest time this film has been looked forward to as an Spider-Man introduction to Sony Spider-Man universe that Sony has been building for a while, and for the longest time it also has been the most disconnected universe and quite all over the place. So we are going to talk about that. So we are going to talk about Spider-Man being in Sony Spider-Man universe. This is a very major update that we are going to talk about, and today's update is actually a two-parter update, so you really don't want to miss or skip any part of this video. So our first update is coming from my man Daniel RPK, and if you have been following our channel or if you have been part of the rumor mill, you know that Daniel RPK has one of the most impeccable track record. We give him a lot more reverence than any other industry insider or outlet. So as you went on to state, a very simple sentence, and that is Madam Web does not have any post-credit scene. So that's the simple as it can get. Madam Web does not have any post-credit scene, and we are going to dive into second update right away. So be patient, it is going to make sense all over when I'm done with it, and I will give you the context of the news. So our next update is coming from Jeff Sneider from Hot Mic Podcast, and again, if you have been following our channel, we give him a lot more reverence than any other industry insider, and we cover him frequently on the channel. As you went on to state that initially Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was supposed to be featured in Madam Web film, then it was Tom Holland Spider-Man, but when Sony realized that they have messed up the timeline, they have removed every single piece, information or reference related to Spider-Man, and as it seems like no Spider-Man is involved in Madam Web film. It's not Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland or even Tobey Maguire. So as it seems like Madam Web is mostly going to be about Madam Web. And again, given the trailer and posters and behind the scenes that we have got for the film, I am actually looking forward to Madam Web for what it is. So talking about the news, so our first update was there is no post-credit scene featured in the Madam Web, and the second update is pretty much the explanation why there is not a post-credit scene or any reference of Spider-Man in it. And for the longest time, the fans have been calling Sony Spider-Man universe the Sony Spider-Man universe, and rather than Miles Morales Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse trilogy, there has been no Spider-Man scene in the Sony Spider-Man universe, even though it is called that. And again, given that Sony Spider-Man universe, I think, has been one of the most disconnected and kind of an all over the place universe that they have built up, there might be a connection between Venom universe and Morbius. They might take place in the same universe. Again, if you remember or if you have seen Morbius trailer, that also featured a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man poster in the trailer, and later it was removed from the theatrical release, and we also had that sort of an rushed last minute film post-credit scene. So again, Sony Spider-Man universe has been kind of an all over the place, and I think with Madam Web, and much like what happened to Morbius, Sony decided it's time, we are going to go with our Spider-Man, and again it just didn't fall where it should have been. So again, there has not been too much of a connection between Sony Spider-Man universe. It is sort of an Sony Spider-Man multiverse type of situation, because as it seems like Madam Web does not take place in Venom universe, Miles Morales universe or anything like that. It is a total complete story that they are showing up, and again removing Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, or in total new Spider-Man they were going to introduce in the film, that obviously has been cut out. And as the Madam Web stands, it is story about, again, it is just going to be a Madam Web film, and again it is going to feature 3 Spider-Women, so I'm really happy on that front. We also have Ezekiel Spider-Man, but again, you gotta give it that it is, if it's not Peter Parker. But again, what have me thinking that Sony just does not own one Spider-Man or couple of Spider people, but they actually own every single Spider people in the whole Spider-Verse and every character related to that Spider-Man character. So they actually have a tons of Spider-Man, and if they wanted, they probably could have started a franchise with like Ben Reilly's Spider-Man for that, say, or something like that, or Spider-Gwen franchise or something on their own. They really didn't have to rely on Marvel Studios or partner with Marvel Studios unless it was for Tom Holland Spider-Man and 616 continuity. But again, given all of that, Sony has been very ambitious regarding their now called Sony Spider-Man Universe, but again, given like this year we are getting like 3 Sony Spider-Man Universe films. So the first thing, we are getting Madam Web film, which is looking pretty good, in given what it is. Then we have Kraven the Hunter, which is also looking quite interesting, and given the R rating that film have. And then we are going to have Tom Hardy's Venom 3, which is they are looking forward to close the chapter on Tom Hardy's Venom franchise. So as Hardy himself went on to say that it is going to be a last dance in Venom's franchise. So as I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that Sony does have a quite major plan for the Sony Spider-Man universe, where everything is going to conclude into one thing. But as it seems like it is kind of an all over the place. And again, there have been a lot of talks regarding an Spider-Geddon film, which is literally a secret wars event for Spider-Verse. That is a major film. Again, we have been talking about Sinister Six project, and I really haven't been able to understand and kind of in Sony's lookout for getting all of these Spider-Man villains and turning them into an anti-heroes. And as it seems like it is going to be concluded into that much rumored Sinister Six film. But again, I'm not really saying where everything is kind of going, but everything is kind of seems its own thing. But again, they have been able to set up a lots of stuff. But again, we gotta wait and watch and how all of these things are going to turn out. Well, that's it for this video, guys. But before you go, you can consider to grab the subscribe button so don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel or DC update. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. I think I really stretched this video out. I thought this was going to be one quickie, but again, pardon me on that. Thanks for listening to me again. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.